David Raphael. I'm an MD artist. Been the medical director of the San Francisco Medical Research Foundation for the last 30 plus years. We're a holistic health educational foundation. I'm also the founder of the Light Party, which is a holistic new political paradigm party dedicated to health, peace, and freedom for all. And also we are sponsoring, co-sponsoring the transformation of Alcatraz Island into the Global Peace and Light Center.
Good. Okay. Just a second. It's really got an incredible focus right there. Okay. That's it. Okay.
I
And
should also add that I'm very involved with educating people about the planetary transformation and what we're calling the ascension process.
okay, I'm going to get into that. You know, now I've really now we're gonna really do it. Okay. So, David, we know a lot about what you've done in the past and the work that you've done. The most current work that I think is very important that you're doing is the Alcatraz conversion project. Would you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's started in 1978 with a very powerful vision on Mount Tam. It's gone in and out. In 2008, we brought it into the mainstream. We tested the waters to see what kind of response we'd get from the general public. It was an initiative asking the good people of San Francisco how they felt about turning Alcatraz into a global peace center. And it was a non-binding initiative. We got 55,000 yay votes. But I also realized at the time it was still way ahead of its time. Now we're reintroducing the concept. We're taking out, I don't call them ads, pronouncements. We've refined the website. And our plan at this time is to bring it back in as an initiative, depending on other factors, which has to do with the transformation of consciousness in 2013. So we're very much definitely keeping the idea alive, because whether or not Alcatraz actually gets converted, stripped down, and created this, it's a metaphor. It's a powerful metaphor for the transformation of consciousness from the old paradigm, an old decaying prison, into something that is inspirational, highly creative, and makes a very powerful statement as to, as far as I'm concerned, the true potentiality of the human nature. Because if you studied, and I'm an art historian among other things, if you studied, go through the years, even prehistory, all the way back to Atlantis, there have been these architectural statements that really are an outpicturing of higher consciousness, from the Pyramid of Giza to the Taj Mahal to the Parthenon to the incredible temples in in Burma, the Gothic cathedrals, on and on and on. So we have a whole page that basically outlines past amazing architectural statements that were all involved whenever they were built, basically created community and generated a tremendous advance in technology and artistic endeavors. So, and also in this website, we also have, in the site, we also show future architecture, which is extraordinary, such as there's a plan in Russia, in Moscow, called the Crystal Island. It's a $5 billion architectural project created by a woman that is extremely, fantastically, amazingly beautiful. And that's the kind of thing we want to create. We want to create a wow in the Bay Area. People, as you know, the Bay Area is it's a hotbed for consciousness and intelligence and advanced business thinking, so on and so forth. But why do we have this statement right in the center of the Bay Area, right overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge? To me, it's an eyesore, and to me, it's a very negative feng shui. So obviously, we want to redesign it and put something out there that's empowering, beautiful, creative, etc., etc., etc.
Well, that's a good point. Get into a little bit more about the kind of transcendental or the metaphysical nature of Alcatraz itself. It's something really rich, isn't it?
Well, it's very interesting because today I spoke to a shaman from Hawaii who's actually going to be doing workshops here. He's a very advanced spiritually, I feel a very advanced spiritual being, and he was aware of Alcatraz, and he says that island has got to be cleaned up because it's an interdimensional portal. In other words, for whatever reason, it got shut down. And what I mean by an interdimensional portal, there are ley lines throughout the earth where energy, just like when our body, meridian points, where energy comes to the planet, feeds the planet. And I believe, as do others, that Alcatraz was actually a portal and because of the prison, it's shut down the energy.
Interesting.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
interesting. And
Yeah.
this guy who I was speaking to is very shaman, earth-centered. He substantiated what I believe to be true. So he says we've got, he really supports the idea of, for the reasons I've just discussed, open up the energy of the Bay Area.
A lot of the people who know anything about Alcatraz know about the prison, but they also know about the connection with Native Americans, and
Right.
and that seems more in tune with the conversion itself. How do the Native Americans play within this?
Well, it was very interesting because originally when they took it off, that was the beginning of AIM, the American Indian Movement. According to federal law, any abandoned federal property was to be reverted back to the original owners. And the Native Americans, actually it was the Sioux, so actually a Sioux woman said, hey, well we are the original owners. I mean, you can say somebody shows up in Manhattan and says, hand it over, or so on and so forth. So they tested the law. And the original idea when they occupied Alcatraz was to turn it into a educational, ecological center, because the Native American ethos is about caretaking for the earth, stewardship for the earth, that we become equal. That's in their blood. So, of course, a lot of that wisdom has been lost because the tribes have been heavily decimated by, the European cultures, etc. But the wisdom, the great wisdom and understanding of understanding earth energies and understanding the earth as a living sentient being, which she is, Gaia, is still in the lineage of the Native American elders. So they believe that Alcatraz is a sacred site, and I do too. But regardless whether it's sacred site or not, aesthetically and artistically, to clean that island off and build something that was representative of, like the Golden Gate Bridge or the Transamerica Building, something that is reflective, that when you look out on it, you go, wow, what a beautiful statement. You feel good about it. Right now, it's a negative feng shui. It pulls the energy down.
Yeah.
Rather than bringing the energy up. So I really believe that by doing this project, there'll be many, many, many levels and multi-dimensional levels to it, but it'll raise the whole vibration of the Bay Area. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah. Almost to raise the whole
Of the planet.
dimensional of the planet. Yeah.
Absolutely.